So, welcome to the Berlin Dance Music Event 2023. I'm your host of this panel, Marian from Inner Circle Agency, and today we have two guests over here with us, Fernando Lagreca and Marco Völkel from Magnify Agency, and we're going to talk about artist marketing and the new management 2.0. So, let's start with like a brief introduction. Marco, tell us a little bit about who you are and what agency you represent.
My name is Marco Völkel. I'm from Germany, from Recklinghausen. It's in the Ruhr area, so near Cologne, kind of. We have a company called Magnify, which mainly started as a management company, but it's more like a boutique entertainment company now. We have around 20 employees already, and beside the management of some international touring artists, our main focus is on marketing. It comes to our internal artists, but also external artists, and also since around about 2 years we are Germany's leading ticket marketing company.
And what about you, Fernando?
Hello, I'm Fernando. I'm coming from Barcelona. I'm a musician and producer of electronic music, and I also run a small boutique company based precisely in Barcelona, where we manage and represent artists on the techno scene. We manage artists such as Alex Stein, Koyu, Ramiro Lopez, Teenage Mutants, among others, and then we represent a worldwide roster of more or less 40 artists. We are 8 in the team, so we are super small, and we are not exactly focused on marketing campaigns, but we are trying to learn, as you are doing here, how to incorporate all the new techniques of marketing in terms of produce better managements, better representations, more bookings, and all that kind of stuff. So this is I'm here to learn, like you do, which is it's very, very nice to me to be here.
Yeah, welcome to you guys. So let's start with the first question that I have to you. How do you think that the rise of social media has changed the way that DJs and producers market themselves at the moment? And how would you say that you can help them in those kind of ways?
Yeah, personally, I think we all know that there's kind of nothing more important than social media beside the whole music, to be honest, because, to be honest, I always say first thing is music. At the end, it's all about music. And the whole marketing is becoming more and more important, and social media is something you should use to be able to interact with your fans in a direct way, I always say, and to cut the middleman. That's kind of the short term of this.
Yeah, I think that social media changed it all, basically because formerly you got a direct connection with the promoter when you are selling an artist, and when you are an artist you had to rely more into classical media campaigns, but after social media stuff now it's totally different. You need to, as an artist, not only depending on your manager or your booker, you need, as an artist, as a product, you need to know your audience, you need to know directly your public, and you need to know all the techniques around in order to improve your career directly, not only hanging from a management. I mean, if you got a management team behind, of course, I will say that it is better, but in most cases and in mostly for emerging artists, it's not an option to get a management or a booking company behind. So it's on one hand, I think it's changed it all, but on another hand, it's a big opportunity to artists build up their careers directly.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, when it comes to social media, sure, it is super important, but what it's nowadays 100% more important is to find the direct way to your fans and to your community. I always say the community building is one of the most important things for me personally, because you need to come to the point that I personally think it's not the right time, or you still need to do it. You still need to throw some money into Meta and into TikTok and into all these companies, but more important is, even if it is just small steps, is like building your own community when it comes to, I don't know, even the older ways like newsletter and all this stuff, or a WhatsApp newsletter, or some kind of a community, online community kind of building, because then you can, I don't know, when it comes to beside let's say ticket links, merch drop, releases, or whatever. You just have to push the button without, I don't know, throwing money into these big companies. So you need to start early with building your direct way to the fans.
So regarding this, how important do you think is branding for an artist exactly, and how can artists brand themselves in the way that they can be more engaging for the fans and the audiences?
I will say that one of the first things that an artist should do is to know the audience, to know the public, and try to increase presence in social media, just related to the things that the audience asks for him or for her. I mean, if you are a super high technician DJ, that's a factor to explode. If you, for instance, you got a super good looking and you are related to brands, that's something that you need to explode. It's depending on each case, but I think that there's a lot of tools now in order to start improving the influence and start making the community. I mean, if we can start just doing a brainstorm of ideas about ideas relating kinds of community, I mean, you can be a DJ and, for instance, if you want to cook, make a community of DJ cooking. If you want to use a determined brand of clothes, etc., you try to be linked to those brands and try to identify the mission and the values of that brand in order to see if you can, put that value on your own brand and develop along things like that.
And especially in times like now, you have all the data, so you know what your fans want. So sure, you have to there are these kind of artists who 100% have to stay the artists they are, but on the other side, there are also artists who are like a little bit flexible, and then they can do what you say when they know, okay, I don't know how many % of my fans are interested in this and this and that, then you can give them this and that. And this is possible nowadays.
So talking about data, how can artists use the data and analytics, and what should they be really like paying attention to like really build their brand and know what their like audience is?
I think this is something, you answered already with the question, with the answer before. This is something where you can use your data for, or you can use your data for. It depends on what kind of data you have.
So regarding that, what would you like look out for? What is like the most valuable data that you would say like to build the brand? Is it just plays? Is it just likes?
I will say in my case, or in the case that in our artists, it's a combination of everything. A combination of Beatport charts, a combination of Spotify playings and listeners, and then divided by city or by country, etc. Analyze those data and use. There's a lot of free platforms such as Vibrate, Chartmetrics, and then with Beatport there are Beatport Stats, Beatport Tracks. All those platforms has free plans for individual artists. You can keep using the free plans, no need to pay extra money because those platforms base their functionality on that stuff. So I mean, there's a lot of data in the air, let's say, and you as an artist has the obligation, I will say, to pay attention to that. And for me, I think this is a sort of combination. And depending on what you want to do, I mean, if your final objective is just to be an influencer artist that is mostly related with brands and then stay at home producing, you need to find your way. If your final objective is hit the most of festivals in the season, you need to go also with tools that are significant to promoters, because in one hand you got the audience, but in the other hand you need to hit the promoters and make those promoters know that you got an audience behind, and then you can do that link, and afterwards it's theoretically more easy to get a contract, you know.
How can you like prepare these data, for example, for promoters and like festivals and stuff, so they can like better realize what you're actually doing? Because I would believe that a lot of like bookers and artists at the moment, they just look at your Instagram page or sometimes even just TikTok and they see a big number and then they book you. But how can you deliver them like some more data to really make it worth that you actually come to their parties or events?
In our company, we call them the data sheets. We're doing them with a software called Pitch. It's something like which creates something like a PowerPoint kind of deck or kind of sheet, but it's something super interactive. So it's something you create an account at Pitch, and then you can create like these kind of presentations. But you can add videos, links, whatever. You can design it, or for example, we got a designer, or we have our own content creators in house who are like making templates. That we have our nice looking data sheets, and we just can like, I don't know, with like monthly requests to the whole team. Hey, can you please send us a data update? And then we're monthly updating the data just inside the system, and the link always stays the same. And then we're using, which is also something everyone should use, is like when we're these kind of links, we're making like short links out of it, sending out to all promoters who are asking, to record labels, whatever, everyone who is asking for information about the artist. And then, for example, if you then are clever enough, and then you're using, for example, by sending them not the original link, but you're using a trackable link, for example, you also can retarget the people, because you know, for example, that the promoter has opened the data sheet, has checked out the data sheet, you can track which information he got, and then you can retarget him, for example.
What do you think are the challenges for artists like getting their data, and how can you as agencies help them to get this data and to really work on it and to build their branding with this?
In our case, what we do is just try to put on the table the whole amount of tools and advise all the artists we manage when they are ready to invest in, because this is something that is important to tell about. I mean, in all those cases, you as an artist, you need to invest. I mean, it's not just a matter of invest time, which is a lot, of course, but also you need to be prepared to invest some funds in your career. I mean, because in our time, it's almost impossible to grow as an artist without investing, and this is something that I always, like to talk about, because I mean, like I always say, a reality check is always important. I mean, and of course, it's absolutely nice if you get this big success just by chase or just by a hit of luck, but that's not happening in real life in the most of cases. So you need to be prepared to invest. And when an artist is ready to invest, what we try to contact agencies like Martin and contact peers and try to present him and put on the table all the options that he has and try to give him advice about it. I mean,
yeah. When it comes to invest at an artist, I always say to our artists, you have to see your brand like another brand, like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola also don't has to do advertising, but they are doing advertising. That's the same. So it's like even each company, you have to see, even if you're an artist, you have to see yourself as a business. That's my point of view. And when it comes to collecting data, I know that's also something. Yeah, we are in the lucky position because we have so much employees, but we have someone in our company who is just there for data analytics. He's the whole day, he's just taking care of, one part is he's just taking care of data analytics, so he's also then taking care of the data sheets, for example, but on the other side, he's also like kind of reading the data, which means he's not like, oh, I'm just collecting the data and putting it into the data sheet. No, he's like, how to say in English, he's like analyzing it, and he's finding hey, when this is doing here, and this means this, and then we need to do this, and blah, 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 we can target the audience here, and these kind of stuff. He's also building strategies out of the data. Yeah, plus he's also, one part of his job is like that. As soon as there are new technologies, even like now, right now, everyone is talking about ChatGPT. It's like, oh, can I use it for my captions or whatever? Yeah, but if you do the captions with ChatGPT and you're not feeding the system with the right input, what you really want to have, you get captions on the level from a 6-year-old kid. Yeah. So it's like, makes no sense. But his job, for example, is then to really dive deeper into this and really get into this and thinking, okay, how can we get the right outcome out of it? And also other I don't know, like there are so many new platforms, apps, whatever. It's just for him then always on this table, and then he's checking it out, I don't know, for a week or so, and then presenting to the whole team saying, hey, we can use this software, this makes sense to combine it with this. Always say, no, that's not our software.
Okay. And talking about this, what are like common mistakes that you see with artists, like before they maybe join your agencies, or just in general with artists? What mistakes do they do when they focus on their branding without actually knowing what they're doing? What is there like certain things that you see like regularly happening?
I will say that there's a lot of mistakes in the way they think that they are positioned in the market. I mean, if I pick an artist and say, okay, and a pencil and say, okay, let's draw a map of the universe and situate yourself in there. In most cases, it will be wrong, because a good position is not how you think you are. It's on the opposite. It's where the people think you are, and I think in most cases that's a big mistake. An optical mistake.
Especially when we talked about social media, that's a thing that most of the artists, they believe in what their numbers are telling them, even if the numbers are not true. So it's like, well, but I have so many likes and I have so many, yeah, or
like that,
or what I also see as a social media platform, I always say, is like Spotify. It's like most of the people, I have millions of streams. Yeah, but how many followers do you have? What's the ratio between your follower and your streams? It's like, yeah, nice. You're on tons of playlists, you get lots of streams, but it makes nothing for your branding if you don't have any followers. So if the ratio is very small.
In most cases, there's an enormous lack of patience from artist side that prevent really to get success.
Yeah, and the problem is that they or I think it's not the artist, it's the general, I don't want to say a problem, but
society problem.
Yeah, society problem, that they believe what they see. They see what artists do, but for example, I can tell you, we as an artist marketing company, we can create a plan for an artist and we can create your artificial life on social media. And it's maybe 100% not true what the people are seeing. It's like you can build everything. It's like you can give the people the badass rock star, which is in real life a father with a family and 3 kids and who's living on the countryside.
From work.
So regarding like the numbers you mentioned, like in Spotify, and then you don't have so many followers, how would you say like artists can get a better conversion rate into this, or how can they, like, if they have like maybe the big plays but they don't have the followers, how can they like transfer it from the plays to the followers maybe and build up like a following through that?
You need to find ways with your other social media platforms, or like without the social media platforms. What I meant before, it's like creating well, I always say one thing is there is a listener, then there is maybe a fan, and then there's a super fan, which is a community, and you need to work on this transition to make a transition between just a consumer to a super fan. Because you need the super fan, because at the end, and you need the direct contact to the super fan, because at the end I always say, I just want to push the button, say, okay, a new sample pack is out, it's spliced, and it's done. It's making millions of downloads. This is what I want, and I don't want to throw the money into Meta for advertising or whatever. And
like building up a hype about it.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the question? I think I just
about the conversion from the Spotify plays actually to the followers.
The followers is something you need to create some kind of funnels to bring the people from all the platforms to Spotify and to make sure they like it. And it's not because it also
maybe
makes no
doing
sense.
combining the strategies, using all the other platforms, and try to redirect public to Spotify, but it's not something not easy, neither fast. It's something that it takes time, because sometimes you got a track on a Spotify, it works super well because it's picked by a super playlist, etc., and that assures you a lot of listenings. But just listening to the tracks, they are not listeners to your profile. They are different things. So you need to try to adapt those fans and convert to your tribe, and that's the tricky part, actually.
Yeah, there are no followers. That's it. So they're just consumers. They're just consumers, and they're created by big playlists or whatever. And it's but
you need to be prepared to release more music and better music every time.
You need to make sure to feed the algorithm at Spotify when it comes to this, and then when I said to converting people to like followers, one very important thing is you don't have to do the mistake to advertise for listeners. That's like throwing money out of the window. It's like, or yeah.
No, it is better, for instance, try to build. At the end of the day, we go to the same. We need to build your community, your own community. And you on Spotify, you can set a mini store when you can sell on offer merchandise. You can put your gigs. So you need to let the people know that you are active, that you are producing, that you are not just a number that appeared on a high position on a playlist.
So almost like using Spotify as a social media platform more than just like music listening in the end.
And own your community. That's it.
And regarding that, what do you guys think are some emerging trends in artist marketing for DJs and producers? And how can you as agencies help them to stay ahead of this curve? Because I guess there's a lot of artists that, I mean, they're focused on just the production mostly because they're producers, I say. And maybe they cannot like always follow all the trends. Like how can you as agencies help them, or how can they, or what advice could you give them without being an agency or without having an agency, that what they can do like to stay up with the trends?
I will say that it's dependent on each case, because you can be a producer and you are happy doing the producing stuff, and the problem is, or not the problem, the fact is when you are to overstep your bedroom producer stuff, you need to do other things. You know, I mean, regardless the hype or regardless that when you want to go, it's just a matter of trying to prevail of your bedroom producer stuff and try to you need to do something. You need to do something, and you need to do some movement. You need to create your community. But I will say it's depending on each case, because, for instance, you can be a producer that you don't like social media, and it's fine. You can work as an artist and you can get bookings. In spite of you don't like, in spite and you don't like the social media. But it's about to use the techniques or the skills that or refresh your skill or try to rebuild your career, etc., etc. But it's not something that we can answer in. It's not the same answer. It's not valid to everyone. You know, I will say that we need to work in a specific plan for each character.
So maybe regarding that, just quickly, if you have a new artist joining your agency, for example, and he's a bit like slow with social media and he dislikes it, how would you, for example, help him to like maybe engage more, or like maybe get around his like hate for the social media?
I will say that he or she needs to invest and hire a specialist. You know, mostly in boutique agencies like us, we are always at the chase of the specialist. Because, I mean, we are a small team, so what we do is to see everywhere and try to chase the specialist. And we then suggest or recommend that specialist to those artists that they are not, I don't know, very skilled on social media, or they are lazy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but always with a small plan behind, you know.
Yeah, that's the same with us. We have these kind of specialists in-house working in our company, but the thing is with these kind of artists, and we already like had one who is now at the point, or let's say it like this: when we started with him, he's a well-known big artist and producer. We started 3 years ago working, and he's absolutely not into social media. He's like, I hate it. I don't want to see I don't want to make pictures from me, all this stuff. But then we have one of our guys who's like, I don't know, talking about all this stuff with him frequently, and it's not like in the beginning we always started trying to, hey, do this, do that, post this, post that. But the other way, the better way, is like to just talk with him and just to find a way that he starts loving it. He starts doing it and all this, and that he loses his, fear or whatever of like, I don't know, oh no, I can't make a picture or a selfie of myself or whatever, because no, I'm not that kind of guy. And this is what he needs to lose. And this is what, for example, with this artist happens. So that like a year ago, we started like, oh my God, you see what he's doing right now, and we talked about this 2 years ago, and have you ever thought that he will do it? No, he will not. So you need to bring him to the point that he loves it by himself. So otherwise, I'm pretty sure you can bring it, for sure, you can bring it with a social media manager from our side, as for example, you can bring it to a certain level, but there's something, there's a cap. Yeah.
Well, and I would also say, like, probably your real fans, they will see if it's not you actually doing the content or you being real.
This is where we're at the point again. What I said before is like this is when you said this marketing or this social media trends. I think one of the biggest trend right now is really what I said before is like community. This is what when we in all our big meetings we're saying like I don't know. Yesterday we had a meeting where we said okay, when it comes to marketing for this artist for the next year, on top there's the word community. It's like just building community, just make sure to create as much as possible super fans, because I think all of us are right now seeing what's happening with I don't know Fred again, Skrillex, Fortent, all these guys, and this is user generated content at its best. This is like these people are just standing or DJing on a desk like this and selling out the Madison Square Garden, or like thousands of people in I don't know in front of them at the Times Square. It's like it's unbelievable what they are doing with just showing the people the unprofessionality kind of, which isn't unprofessional, which is like super. There's the biggest agencies, the biggest managements involved, and all this stuff. But it shows the people like the super simple, easy way, and everything is so
feel like
light
the marketing
and,
really.
Yeah, but it is marketing at its best.
It's organically, but it's not organically.
Okay. And maybe regarding that, like artists that cannot afford to be like with agency at the moment, how can they get started, or like maybe build up the worth that you guys, for example, would be interested in someone to build them up even further?
I think, like I said in the beginning, the most important thing is music. You should do music, but not only music, high quality music. You should do work on your music, and even if the labels are not there and they are not like signing you and super interested in you, there are tons of ways nowadays to self-release your music, and then you need to try to be as clever as possible to market your own music, to release your music, and to try, even if you start, like I said, with 50 fans, 100 fans, and this is what you need to start building, and you need to create a value around yourself. That's something where, for myself, I really look like. It's like I always look like one thing in our agency, or when it comes to the management part of us, is always like, okay, what kind of value the music of the artist has, the quality level, is there something? Do I feel something when I listen to the music? And this is high quality. And then you can start move on. And this is the first thing you really have to focus on, the music.
Okay, so you guys would both say like it's really just building about your own brand first and having the quality music to go along with it.
Yeah, I would say at the same time. But this is something that you need to create nice music. You need to evolve as a producer constantly. Try to get releasing better labels every time, and at the same time try to build up your identity, your community, because I mean it's all pair, it's all part of the same, and if you are capable to do that, I'm pretty sure that you will get the attention of a booking agency, a manager, because all the agencies in the world, we are always looking for new artists, for what is going on, what's new, etc. Not only in trends, genres, but also in people, in artists. So I think it's something that at the end of the day will happen. But you need to be very critic to yourself as an artist. I mean, trying to, not finish burnt out, of course, but you need to be enough critic in order to judge your own work before that work is released in any way. I mean, it could be in a label, with a Bandcamp, with a SoundCloud, free link, etc. But you need to be very very critic, and try to evolve as a producer, and at the same time try to find your own identity. Your own identity is your name, your look, the clothes you are using, the kind of equipment you prefer to use. There's a lot of stuff that you can pick as alibis in order to build up your profile. And if you are enough clever to do that, you got the seed in order to grow.
You definitely need to commit yourself to do this, and not just like, yeah, I make a little bit of music and maybe I will be a star someday. No, you need to commit and you really need to do this, because otherwise you will not come to the point that the agency is like getting interested big. Because like I said before, it's like you need to make the quality music, you need to create the hype, you need to create something, and you need to add the value to you, your brand, your music and everything, that the agency comes. Because at the end, it sounds maybe a little bit money driven, but at the end it is how it is. It's like the agency, especially a booking agency, sure, you believe in an artist or a management company. A management company is a little bit more, but as a booking agency, your job is to sell the artist and to earn money. That's it. It's not like, sure, you need to create a strategy around it, blah, 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 but this is more the management part. At an agency, you're like making shows, sales. That's your job. Yeah. So, and this is why, I mean, you need to add so much value to it that you're that you're interested for them, for the agency, because they need to earn money. That's it.
And all the bookers, we need fuel to burn. Yeah. You know, otherwise we don't got enough fuel to pay our bills.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can feel this. And maybe like talking about that, what can artists like maybe do a little bit outside of social media itself to like get their marketing going as well? Like what, like, I mean, before the time of social media, like people would just go outside on the streets, like flyer and stuff like that. Is that still something that's like relatable today, or is that already over?
To be honest, we're doing try to do nearly everything. It's like when it comes to some key shows or whatever, we're always trying, okay, what can we do? If there is a festival, okay, the festival has a booklet, okay, let's try to get something inside of the booklet. Okay, there are, I don't know, there is a big festival in Germany and they have this, what's the word for it, this banners, the big banners. Okay, let's talk to the festival if we can send them some banners to hang them over there, to, I don't know, to get some posters over there. And even on the poster, this is also what we very often do. We got the opportunity, okay, you can put some banners there. What do you want to do there? Then we thought, okay, oh, he has a radio show every Friday, radio show, blah, and his
you can
face.
Pick up here. You can pick up here and made a general media campaign. I mean, if you doesn't want to be, present on social media, you can pick up here and made a media campaign and try to get covered by Face magazine or DJ Mag, depending on each country you are, or getting, you can get released regardless you are on social media or not. If your music is like he said before, if he's trespassing the super high quality levels, you are very capable to get released on nice labels and build up from there. In one point, you will hit with the social media stuff because, I mean, it's the way that it works. I mean, it was MySpace 15 or 20 years ago. Now it's social media, I don't know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and maybe in the next 2-3 years it's Discord and Geneva or wherever other social media platform is working. But it's like the flyers before. But you can still be present on the scene with us. General media campaign, for instance.
And like I said, you can definitely also do all these old school classic things. You just have, I think every one of you, if they're like, when you're an artist and you're playing on an event, if you just take the time and say, okay, I will sit down now for 1 hour and just think what I can do on this event. Okay, what is it? Okay, maybe I can, like you guys, I just walked here and I saw you spraying the Berlin Dance Music Event logo on the streets. So it's like, that's an old classic way. It's super simple. Yeah, done. It's like, and this is what I mean was like, you just have to think about, you just have to be creative and think about, and not to be in a rush. You really have to dive into this, think about, okay, this particular festival, what can I do there?
You can attend events like this and give every one of us an USB or a card with a QR, in order to people download your music.
I got a sticker from,
So,
no, I got this from. She's working a robot there. Yeah, I got a sticker. Yeah, it's like just talking, getting a sticker, and later when I'm sitting in the train back home, listen to my techno.
For sure.
Yeah, sure, and it's working. It's the classic way. Yeah.
Really nice. Maybe we have like a little round for the guests to have some questions. If there's questions, and sure, we can stay here all day if we want to. But is there questions from the guys in the area? Maybe. 1 second, you'll get a microphone.
Okay, I'm Carlos from Canary Islands, Spain. I came here. My birthday is tomorrow. I'm gonna so thank you for the two of the three, because I'm very good. I have all my life waiting a time like this, because I have explained in only half an hour very important things, because I came from the 90s, beginning Venus, then life on a long time. But now my perception is that I can do more time in the social media. I am very tired of this. And you say an important thing. It's not that I don't want to take photos. It's a little tired when you have to take time to do music, or produce music, and then I'm not an old man, near 50, but it's difficult for me, because the procession that from MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, in the beginning I put photos in Instagram from coffees and sunsets, and now for the music it's not this way, maybe it's not the way. So now in this moment, because I feel that Spotify for you, it's the feeling that the good things that you say for me is the community. I good like these words. Create your community, and then Spotify is the future now immediately, or there is another. For example, is the battle between streaming and download music. But for you, in these years, 1 or 2, because always gonna change again, is Spotify probably one of the apps of one of the photos that you have to bring your community there. It's more important. I know what the concept of their community, but this is Spotify's the future in these years. For expose, for grow your fans, for grow your music, for grow your sponsors.
I will say it's depend of your kind of music and your kind of followers, and where are located your followers, where's the access your followers and your audience got to a Spotify compared, for instance, to other platforms related to streaming, such as YouTube, for instance. I mean, so it's not easy to answer. Like there's this unique way to to succeed on creating your own community and link just to Spotify. I will say that depending on several other stuff that you need to consider on your own career, on your own project, in order to see if Spotify is the right thing or not. And like you perfectly say just a couple of minutes before, that changes mostly in the next 2-3 years, because everyone is changing so fast in the last year. So it will keep changing so fast. So I will say that you need to investigate all the platforms and try to make a small analytic work. And even I can absolutely understand you when you said, I don't know if that's the real words, but I'm super tired to make photos and pictures for Instagram and post about nothing in the end. I prefer to spend my time in the studio, which I prefer as well. But you need to think about the music routine, and the musician routine has changed. And now, if 20 or 30 or 40 years ago, you were under, better 40 years ago, you were under the umbrella of a big discography company, such as a major company, and they put everything you need on the table, and you just need to spend a couple of hours in the studio and they pay for everything. Now it's totally different. So you need to think like, change your mindset towards a new method of work. And I say, okay, if I got a luck to dedicate my life just to music, okay, let's planify my daily basis and do 4 hours studio, 2 hours for social media, 2 other hours to talk to promoters and to talk to other colleagues, etc., etc. And then you got 8-10 hours, which could be, addressed like a normal job timeline, and I will change the mindset on that way. Yeah. No worries.
Any more questions?
Thank you. I'm Rolf from Amsterdam Techno Records, and I have a question about the money side, because Fernando talked about an artist should invest, and Marco told about there needs to be an income, a certain income stream. But should the artist pay you a certain monthly amount, and you can get a cut from every income from every sale that's in there? And how does that work?
I mean, how our money model works, like how we get paid. Yeah, that's a percentage. It's like in bookings. It's like we're getting a percentage of every income the artist earns. Yeah.
Via the company of from you.
Yeah. The artist is making something. For example, the artist is earning an amount of money, or we have a management agreement with the artist, and the artist is, I don't know, releasing records. We're taking care of that, the record deal is done and all this stuff, and then the artist is earning money, and we're getting a cut out of the money the artist is earning.
Does the income stream goes via you or via the artist directly?
It depends. It really depends. It's something like there are sometimes we have that the income stream is going via us. This is also, but it's also something. It's something about this a little bit more complicated when it comes to the rights part. It's like with most of the artists, we are not the rights owners. For example, if we do the typical one is releasing on this label, that label. But on the other side, it's like when, for example, we are doing our own label with the artists together, we're also the rights owner, and then the money stream, the income stream is via us. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Ollie. I've got a question in terms of data collection. So you talked about collecting data from every possible way, and my question is it possible to implement a Facebook marketing pixel directly to your Spotify or Beatport account?
As far as I know, it's not possible. But what you can do is like when you are posting a link, the simple way, like a link tree or whatever, or what we do, what is more, it's a different talk. What we are doing in the whole ticket marketing, in our whole ticket marketing team, is like creating landing pages for all of this, and there you can add your pixel. So it's not like then you're a little bit closer to it. So it's not like that you're like, okay, he really pushed the button and he listened to it, or he bought it or whatever. That's maybe not, but you are aware that the person went there, maybe. But I think it's super easy, like with a link tree or these kind of things already.
Because I thought about maybe if you want to get more listeners from your Spotify to your Instagram profile, it would make sense to retarget them with their data. So if they click on your link, on Spotify link, then you can, if they're not following you, you can run a follower campaign to retarget people who already listen to your music, you know?
Yeah, you can do it with this Linktree thing, but you need to put something in between. You can't do this with Spotify directly. That would be great.
Probably next step, like in the next couple of months, like we see.
No, I don't think it's like this is something which will not happen because these kind of companies will not give you the data. That's a problem.
And they don't want to work with each other together, probably not.
That's it. So that's the data collecting, that's also there. There's a reason why they are collecting data.
And maybe another question, do you think it makes sense to run follower campaigns to gain followers? Because you said release campaigns don't make any sense or not much
Release
sense.
the campaigns make no sense, and from my point of view, when it comes to streams, for example, because imagine or think about what you would invest in this and how much streams you would get. What is a stream worth? So it's like it makes completely no sense. Followers, sure, kind of, but it's like it's also a little bit because it depends what kind of follower do you get, you know.
If I may, I will say that having more followers can help the booker. So what I can suggest to you is to check your current amount of followers and what's the amount of followers of your similar artist or similar target artist you got along. And then you can realize if you need to pay a small campaign in order to increase the followers, not for buying identity or not for building up your community. It's just for helping the booker. I mean, we used to increasing follower campaigns to help the booker in order when the booker knocks a promoter's door and say, okay, this is an artist, he's releasing here, there, he's playing those festivals, and also he got more than 100K on Instagram, just like that, like a, a sales point, just sales point, and no more. It's some of the cases that I will recommend to increase the following by campaigns.
Like I said before, what I would do, or what I would recommend everyone right now, is like to invest into your own community. Yeah. This is what you have to do, because there will be a day. Imagine 10 years ago, there was Facebook. Everyone was like, Facebook, that's a new shit. But it's not like, what is Facebook now? You know, when it comes to some special things like we with our ticket marketing, you're getting your audiences there. That's for the older audience and more, and we're doing we're getting lots of income from there, but not. Yeah, everyone is talking about Instagram 2 years ago, or I don't know, just saying 2 years ago. Everyone started TikTok as a new thing, and this is how it's growing. And you need to make sure, and this is where it's coming back to. You need to make sure to own your audience, to own your community. That, like I said, you just need to push one button, stream the music, and then the people are streaming the music. And this is what you really need to get. You need an email address, a cell phone number, these kind of data you need, and then you have the power. And even if we always
contact in real life,
yeah,
it's the tendency.
Yeah.
IRL is the new tendency with Discord and in Geneva and all that's new platforms. IRL is the key for the next 5 years or so. There's a lot of artists which starting their careers in the MySpace time. And most of them, they are famous now, and they are the people is buying their tickets anyway, and they play in the most festivals. A lot of artists such as Caribou, Fortet, all that stuff, they started on the MySpace, and they build up their community, their fan base, and they are with him. Yeah, they are with him all the time.
And the platforms are like this. They are like kind of telling you, I don't know, they're getting it when you're investing in there, and like they're scrolling down your reach, that you're investing more. And this is what you all can invest into building your own community. And we always say, also lots of artists, we always say, even when it comes to starting nowadays, which sounds very old, but nowadays starting with a newsletter, and we're like, oh, we have 50 people in our newsletter list. Yeah, I don't care. But it's 50 people, that's the beginning. That's the beginning. And you need to build it, and even it's like 10 more and 10 more and 10 more, but it's...
And have a consistency in this as well, I guess, no?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but at the end, nobody... and the end goal should be then, for example, if you're doing sample packs or whatever, you're doing a Patreon, you're doing releases or whatever, you don't have to give someone a cut if you have the direct contacts. You can do this by yourself. You can release it, you can find a way to release and like find a super minimum distribution deal or whatever. You don't need to give a label, like talking to a label and they're like, I'm giving you 35%, we're good. We're like, okay, let's do it. No, I don't want this. I want minimum 80% of my record.
Artists should start thinking on careers as long-term careers, actually. Because there's a lot of artists that they are just, they go to start to learn DJ techniques in 6 months. Afterward, they do a small production course and they think that they are kings. And they are not like that. Start thinking about long-term careers. Because it's the only way.
Maybe really fast from my side, also being a booker towards your question. What I do, and I guess maybe you do the same, like just me as doing basic analytics. What I do with my artists at the moment, it's just literally like looking at their Spotify data and seeing where they are mostly played, and then getting your advertisements just for that region. So you attack in the region where you have the most plays, because I know a lot of my guys, even they get played like in Spain, even though they live over here in Berlin and they've never been in Spain, or they get played in like South America a lot and they've never been there. So like for a booker as well, I'd like recommend them like, hey, start a campaign over there in that region and you get more attention in that region, and then you can easily have bookings in that region as well and build up on that. So that's the way where I maybe would like see where you can have the transition from Spotify and the campaigns on Instagram or whatever.
Sometimes it's just a matter of sending a promoter a print screen of the place that an artist got on his region, and they didn't even know, and they say, oh, okay, I didn't know that your artist is so famous in my country, so let's try. And that is a sale.
Exactly.
Build your community and learn reading your data.
Because
it's there.
Very much.
I think that's the perfect end solution for us. Thank you for everyone to be here, and I hope you had fun with us. Hope to see you next year again.
Thank you.